said, little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to.
These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is blood shoes.
Hit the school, I can get them both, I don't wanna choose. And I'm quick, cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you.
1000Ronin, baby. Many hits.
Now she say, see, gon' do what a who?
Back for another week. Hopefully you guys had a great week. And you guys got to do exactly what you wanted to do this week. You tried out something new. You know? Something you're kind of afraid to do. You went salsa. I don't know. You called out someone you haven't spoken to in a long time and said, Wagwan. You know, you got shit done. And if you didn't get to do what you needed to do, at least you thought about doing it, so that next week that thought can turn into an actual action. But enough of that anyway. Well, this week the Winter Olympics finished, but I don't even watch a single minute of it, to be honest. Like, didn't really realize it was on. But I never really liked the Winter Olympics because if you look at it, like in most of the events, like, you know, downhill skiing, you know, when you do the downhill skiing. And then the the bobsleigh and the luge, the skeleton. So most of those events, like the ski jump, you know, when you go down a big hill and then you go on a ramp, and then you go over the ramp, and then the guy who floats the furthest wins. The ski jump. Most of those events, you know, like gravity does most of the work, you know. Like the athlete is is important, but it's not as important as in the normal Olympics, you know. It's gravity doing most of the work in most of the sports in the Winter Olympics, you know. Because like the higher you go, you know, the higher you go up a mountain, the more potential energy you have. And that potential energy comes from gravity. So, you know, most of the energy released is actually potential energy from gravity. So gravity is doing all the work, which doesn't make sense for Olympics, you know, because Olympics meant to be testing to see how strong, faster people go. Usually the thing that's done second's better than the first, you know. So like the idea of getting the Olympics and then putting them in winter, like where it's snowy, sounded like a good idea when they came up with it, but it didn't work. It wasn't better than the original Olympics, you know. You know, usually things done second are better. Like, for example, like blue cheese. It's better than cheese, you know. The blue cheese, you know, that blue cheese gets you relaxed and, you know, chilled out, you know. You know, for example, snow is snowing at the moment outside. Snow is good, but Hawaiian snow, which was done after snow, is better than snow, you know. Like with the Hawaiian snow, like, you know, you feel good, you know, you feel like you can go for a run, you know, you can, all types, you feel, how do you feel? You feel amped up, you know. That's the Hawaiian snow, you know. Like sunset sherbet, that was done after sherbet, you know. Sunset sherbet's better than sherbet, you know. Sunset sherbet, like, it's good as well. It keeps you nice and calm, you know. It's like a medium. yeah, it's like things usually done second are better than things that are done first, but they messed up with the Winter Olympics. You know, what they need to do is make the Space Olympics. You know, that's the only way they can improve on the original Olympics. To make the Olympics in space. You know, that'll make it better. But some people don't even believe we made it into space. You know, they feel like it's CGI. So we might not be able to do the Space Olympics, but I think a big percentage believe that we made it into space, so having the Space Olympics is no problem, you know. But the thing is, with Space Olympics, you have to use different techniques, you know, for the different races, because in space there's no like friction, like, you know, when your foot hits the ground in a 100-meter race, there's like friction between your foot and the ground, you know, and then when your foot pushes back on the ground, the force exerted on the ground is the force exerted back on your foot, and that force propels you forward. In space, there's no friction, so you're gonna have to use farts. Like farts is like another type of, so it's a type of potential energy, but unlike the Winter Olympics, which uses gravitational potential energy, the farts come from inside the athlete's body, you understand? So they're made by the athlete. The athlete eats the food, and when that food gets digested, it creates gas, and that gas is pressurized inside the intestines, the small intestines, and that pressure is a type of potential energy. So the energy is derived from the actual athlete, just like the Summer Olympics, where like in the Winter Olympics, it's gravitational potential energy. So since the Space Olympics, you're going to have to find the athletes with the best weight to fart ratio, you know, because there's some people who've got a good fart, but they're too big. So if they were to be athletes in space, when they fart and the gas leaves their body, the gas would be even though it's how do I say, it's a lot of gas, and as you push, it's pushed out your body, it exerts a force onto your body. But if you're too big, that force it exerts onto your body won't be able to move your body, because your body's a bigger mass. So you have to find the perfect athlete who's got the perfect body to fart ratio. So what you really want is a skinny athlete with a massive fart, and they'll probably be the best guys in the Space Olympics. But it wouldn't just be about fart to weight ratio in the Space Olympics. The fart technique will be very important as well. You know, like for example, if you're doing the 100 meters in space, you know, the 100 meters is pretty short, so you want a big, loud fart, you know, right at the beginning to propel you forward, you know. So something like that would work for 100 meters. But let's say if you're doing the 1500 meters in space, you know, you want like a quiet fart, a silent but deadly one, you know, one that lasts a bit longer, you know, like probably like a minute, you know. So you let it out and it's like, you know, one of those farts that lasts really long. So, and then the people who've got the perfect silent but deadly fart technique would be the best at long distances. And then the guys with the massive loud fart technique would be better at the short distances, you know. And then that's how you start off the Space Olympics, you know. It'll be very interesting. Definitely a lot better than the Winter Olympics for sure. But at least a good thing happened in the Winter Olympics. North Korea and South Korea, like they came a bit closer. World peace, baby, let's go, woo, woo, woo. So, they got closer to each other, and, so that they instead of like not talking to each other. But just imagine, like, really, if like North Korea and South Korea were united, like how like powerful the country is, because like South Korea's got some of the, like, they've got companies like Samsung, LG, like they make your TV, your phones, your fridge. Now, if those two countries were like united, just imagine like how much more powerful, like how much more stuff like Samsung could make. They'll make like chairs. They'll be able to make. They'll make everything in your house. They'll make toilet paper. They'll make everything. They'll make things like tampons. But the tampons will be like they'll come with 4G. They come with 4G, so you can imagine like you're wearing a tampon, and then it's like they'll like this the Tampon Galaxy 9, the latest Tampon Galaxy 9. Yeah, they'll make tampons called Tampon Galaxy 9, like the latest tampons with 4G connection. They'll be able to update from your vagina. It's like Tampon Galaxy 9 wants to post on your Facebook wall. It'd be amazing. It'll post about your vagina. It's like Tampon Galaxy 9 posted, Rachel's fucked 2 girls on a period. Yeah, so if you had that Tampon Galaxy 9, you have to turn off Facebook and yeah, because it'll give away secrets. But anyway, enough about the Winter Olympics and North and South Korea. Another thing that I saw was Elon Musk, like SpaceX. I don't know why he called it SpaceX. He should have called it Space Exploration X. So when they wrote on the side, it would be sex. That'd have been a good acronym. Because the rocket looks like a dick, like a phallus. And just imagine that with Space Exploration X on the side. That would have been a good move. But anyway, yeah, Elon Musk. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. His company launched a car into space. Now, I said before, like 50% of the people think it's fake, and 50% of it think it's real, but it doesn't really matter. But it's like it was really confusing, because it's like firstly, it looks like he stole the idea from Top Gear. Like Top Gear did this about 6-7 years ago, and Elon Musk stole the idea. So it's really strange why he would do that. And then the second thing is he's meant to be an environmentalist, right? But using all that fuel and then launching a car into space, it's not really sticking to your idea of being an environmentalist, is it? So it's really fishy. So I looked around, and there's a few theories. I don't know if they call them conspiracy theories, but what people have been saying is apparently what happened was Elon Musk caught it was either his wife or girlfriend. She was getting plowed. She was getting getting the business done to her. And he walked into the house, and like all he heard was her screaming, like getting her vagina plowed. And when he walked into the bedroom, he saw that it was some black guy plowing his girlfriend. So pretty much Elon Musk got cockholded. And apparently when he walked in, like, the guy didn't even stop. This is the news that's been floating around the hood news. Basically, yeah, so the guy didn't even stop, he finished, and so some black guy plowed Elon Musk's girlfriend, and he finished, and apparently when he left, like, Elon Musk was, like, pissed off. Apparently when he left, he was like, what are you gonna do, spaceman? And basically Elon Musk, like, was totally pissed off. The black guy, after finishing playing his wife, ran away. And apparently what happened was, little birdie told me, was Elon Musk had been planning to get this guy back for ploughing his wife. Like, you know, giving him the long dick plough, because, like, he got cuckolded. Like, you know, like, it's tragic, you know, being a billionaire and being cuckolded. It's some people like being cuckolded, but Elon didn't really like it. Anyway, yeah, apparently, so Elon Musk planned his revenge, and what he did was 2 weeks before the SpaceX launch, apparently some black guy was telling his friends in the hood about how he plowed some spaceman's girlfriend, and then a black car picked him up. And what has happened is people have put 2 + 2 together, and what everyone is saying is the figure sitting in the car that got launched into space is not actually like a figurine. It's an actual. It's the actual guy that plowed Elon Musk. He was banging Elon Musk's wife when he walked in on her, and apparently he had to. And Elon basically strapped him to the rocket and launched him into space. Apparently that's what happened. You know, you can imagine the guy who was like, "Fuck," screaming his head off as he was getting launched into space. Yeah, so apparently that's not a figure, that's a guy. You know, so Elon got his revenge. It makes sense though, it does make sense to me now, because what's the best way to hide a body done in space, you know? So, and the best way to hide a body in space, in plain sight of everyone. But anyway, that's the rumor, the hood news for the hood rumor. Well, I think it's a conspiracy theory. That's technically what it is. Anyway, enough of that space exploration X. Let's go back to some other stuff. Let's go back to where we were left off from last week in the Ukaku K sect. So Tiki had just emerged from the ring like a green ghostly shaman. Obviously, I didn't trust him. You know, like, you know, he's like a ghostly shaman that came out of a family heirloom. So, but I could feel he had a connection to my newly formed spiritual sea. So it was like a symbiotic relationship. So he couldn't get rid of me, even if he wanted to. He explained that a spiritual sea had been formed in my stomach area, and that signified that I was a first level key condensate. I was in the first level of key condensation, and this wasn't really the beginning of my cultivation, but it was the pre-beginning, the introduction. And the guy that had knocked me and my Ronin out was a third level. Sorry, was a third level was at the third level of key condensation. So even though he had taken all our shit, if he had wanted to, he could have done a lot worse to us. At the first level of key condensation, I could I could already feel the strength in my body, like my meridians had opened up a bit wider, and the ones that were blocked before were showing signs of opening. And I could feel the strength, and the first level of key condensation is you pretty much have the strength, twice the strength of a mortal man, and I could already feel it. I could, I could run twice as far, twice as fast, and jump twice as hard. But having twice all these attributes, that it wasn't so simple as adding 2 plus 2 plus 2 together. It was a bigger qualitative change, all the senses increase, sight and hearing. And at the first level key condensation, you are allowed to take a martial technique from the Wukake-ku sect. But these martial techniques were pretty expensive relative to what we had. And you had to use spirit stones to buy them. And we were completely fucked because all our spirit stones were gone. And the only way to earn more spirit stones was to take missions from the sect. And being a red outer sect disciple, the only mission we could take was a spirit plant picking. It was picking spirit plants. So me and my Ronin, we rested for 2 days, and ate the food that we had been given. And after 2 days, my Ronin had also reached the first level of key condensation. So that morning we went up to the mission stand, and each took a spirit herb mission. So each mission had a certain number of spirit herbs and rewards. Obviously, the harder to find a spirit herb was, or spirit plant was, the higher the reward in spirit stones. But that meant that the herb was deeper into the mountains, and going deeper into the mountains meant more danger. Hence the higher reward. So we both picked a bronze level spirit herb mission, the basic, and we set off to the mountainside. The mountains were lightly forested, but the deeper you went into the mountains, the thicker the vegetation and the trees, and obviously the steeper it got. But me and my Ronin, we decided to stay within a mile from the sect, so that's where we were able to find our bronze mission plants. So we picked the plants, and just as we'd finished gathering the spirit herbs and we were about to go back to the sect, all I heard was Tiki in my head. Heh. Those guys who have robbed you earlier have been following you all day. Heh. You two have no chance to get against them. Just run into the forest. I'll lead the way. So me and my Ronin made a quick decision, and we decided to run deeper into the mountains, and and relying on Ticky's advice. So we'll carry on the story next week. That's it for 1000Ronin this week. It's Manny here. Peace.
Off top, running nigga out his socks. Niggas talk more than bitches. Niggas really be on cock though. Just fucked a hoe out in France. Paint a face like Picasso. I iced out my vatos. I'm really on big ass beamer, big bands in my Benny next. Don't play around on my phone, ho. Give me sex. Watch on my wrist. Out of date, but it's Rolex. Grizzly up next. I'm up now. Stuck a bullet. That's 550, 600 hundreds, 720s. Let's get straight to it. 800 10s. What's that? 8 bands. Hit the store and get some rubber bands. Let's get straight to it. Everybody come together. Everybody got the plan. He came with you. So if he steal and fall on you, we on your ass. Hey, yo, man.